Peace, y'all. This is Evolve Benton. Welcome to the Speakers Room Live. Today, we are going to be talking about the 4 steps to becoming a wealthy speaker. And this is going to actually be a live training and presentation. This is a great opportunity for you if you are a public speaker or a speaker who is trying to figure out how do I put together my roadmap to be successful in the speaking and consulting industry. So if you're listening right now, just put hashtag live in the comments and put hashtag live, and then also tell us where you are watching from, whether that is you want to share with us the location, or maybe you just want to be a little bit more relaxed with it and say, I'm watching from my living room, I'm watching from my bedroom, wherever you're watching from, and just put hashtag live in the comments. If you are listening in the near and dear future, put hashtag replay in the comments, because we also want to know for folks who might watch this training later on. So what I'm going to share with you today is our wealthy speaker ecosystem, right? And this gives you a roadmap of what are the steps that you need to take to make sure that you're prepared to be an amazing speaker, an amazing consultant, and continue to secure the bag, right? Because that's what we're here for. We are here to have an opportunity to secure the bag and to change the world. And I want that for you as much as you want it for yourself, right? And the one thing I want you to know is that even though there's all this marketing, right? There's all this marketing happening right now telling us that the economy is drying up. Eggs are the price of who knows what. And there might be a lot of doubt in your mind right now because we're hearing people scream the word recession and saying that things are not going well. And what I want you to know is that you have to lead with an abundant mindset. So while we're going to go through some tools and strategies today, I want you to know that beyond those tools and strategies, really it's up to you to get your mindset together and get prepared to be the wealthiest version of yourself. If you want 2023 to be the most profitable year that you've had yet, you've got to step into your greatness and your belief in yourself, and you got to put in strategy. What I often see is that a lot of speakers and consultants will say that they want more opportunity, but then when you give them a strategy on how to do it and they see that it's going to take a little bit of work, they don't want to put the work in, right? So being a paid speaker and a consultant is not something that is just easeful all the time. You've got to put in some labor in order to get your business up and running. But once it's up and running, if you have strategy and systems, it can be an easeful process. Right. So you got to be patient and you got to be willing to be a part of it. The other thing is this is not something that happens overnight. So if you're a person who's afraid to speak or you've got fear around public speaking, we do have some strategies and some free trainings around getting through some of that before you can get on the other side of being paid. Right? A paid speaker and a consultant is someone who's already confident in using their voice and using it to impact and share their story with the world. This is for you if you've been in the books, in the Googles, in the YouTube University. Maybe you even have taken some of my colleagues' coaching courses and you have not figured out a roadmap on how to secure the bag in a consistent way. This training is for you if you have felt that way or if you have felt limited by the information that's given out there. I was on a call earlier today with a potential client for Seeking for Profit University. And we help diverse leaders, speakers, consultants make their first five, no, make their first 5-figure months and 6-figure years when it comes to speaking consulting. So I was on this call earlier and this person told me that they feel like often coaches and consultants who are teaching about public speaking and consulting businesses can be gatekeepers. And I'm not here to be a gatekeeper. You all know that, right? Like I do free trainings all the time because I want you all to know that this is accessible and attainable for you. And I don't want you to feel like you can't have access to it. So let's get into the training. Like I said, if you're listening now, just put hashtag live in the comments. If you live, LIVE, if you are listening in the near and dear future, put hashtag replay. All right. So let's get into the training. And I can see my audio's on so y'all can hear me. Cool. All right, good. So we are talking about the wealthy speaker ecosystem, right? How you can become a wealthy speaker. And this is by myself, Evolve Benton, however, sponsored and put on by our amazing team at Speaking for Profit University. And the first thing that I want to talk about is the Wealthy Speaker Roadmap, right? And what we're going to actually talk about today, folks, because we don't have the time to go through this whole roadmap, right? If we would do that, that would be like probably like more to a 3 or 4 hour training, and maybe sometime in the near future we can do that together. But what we're going to talk about specifically is installing the 3 C's of success into your business, and that's step number 3. So before we get there, I do want to explain the whole roadmap, right? So the first thing that we've got to think about as speakers and consultants is that we have to build an impactful speaking offer. Before you can even get into branding yourself as a speaker or consultant and telling the world about who you are, people have got to know what your offer is. And your offer is really, what problem are you solving for an organization or a client when you're going in to speak and share your story or to share your expertise. And I like to look at it like this: it needs to be impactful for the organization. Yes, right? Maybe it affects their bottom line. Maybe it supports them in growing their staff. Maybe it supports them in building out culture. Maybe you're going into a university or a college and you are speaking about a topic at a graduation or an orientation that is going to allow students to know that they have a benefit for being at that particular institution. But more than it being an impactful offer and topic for that community that you're going to serve, it should be impactful and it should be impactful for you. It should be something that you get really excited about. Because if you're excited about it and you have an expertise, you're going to have a confidence and you're going to be willing to share your story consistently and on a continuum, right? So you don't want to just think about, when you're thinking about putting together your offer, is this something that the marketplace is going to want? Is this something that the particular industry I want to speak to is going to want? Think about for yourself. Have integrity. Do you have an expertise in this topic, and can you speak about it? So for folks who are watching, if you've already got an offer, a speaking offer, a topic that you speak about, just go on and share that into the comments of this video. I want to know what kind of speakers that I'm speaking to today, just in case I have particular opportunities or bags that I want to share with you, or connections that I might be able to connect with you. So what are some topics that you speak about as a speaker or a consultant? Just go on and put those in the comments so that we can see them and be able to support you, and maybe can make a connection with someone else we know who's doing similar work. So that's step number 1. You want to have an impactful speaking offer. Step number 2 is that you want to have attractive profile. And what I mean by an attractive profile is that your audience, right? Like, your audience needs to see your Facebook, right? Or they need to see your uh, LinkedIn, because that's primarily what you use to be able to showcase our particular profile within Speaking for Profit University. They need to see that and know what problem you solve. They need to see that and also know what type of person you are, what's your story. So, a quick story: I was on LinkedIn today and I was talking to someone, and they sent me a message and they said, Evolve, we've been going back and forth for a while, but they said, I read your bio and I really loved your story around why you utilize transformative communication tactics to help organizations communicate across difference. They read my whole bio, right? So if your LinkedIn or your website is not amplified to share with people how you particularly solve problems, share a little bit of your story so that they can see the humanity in you, and really have those media assets, whether it's your speaker's reel, whether it's content from you doing podcast interviews, you going live, an actual vocal presentation of you speaking is going to be phenomenal in some of those spaces. So we want to make sure that your website and that your LinkedIn profile is attractive, and it really captivates the people that you want to work with and repels anyone that you don't want to work with. So we got someone who shared what industry they speak in. Thank you, Demetrius. Self-defense of the mind. I'm a woman self-defense instructor. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. So when we're talking about our profile, right? We want to have this attractive profile. Remember, I just said we want to attract what's for us and repel what's not. And what I mean by that, and I hope you're taking notes now, please get your notebooks out. There's certain things we can put on our profile and it's going to make certain people go away. So one thing that I want to share an example with you all here. I'm a diversity, equity, inclusion expert. I've been doing this work over 12 years. Um, During the recording of this video, whenever you're watching it. And one thing that I always include when I am sharing my profile is my pronouns. So you'll see they, them, you'll see Evolve Benton everywhere, whether it's on my website or whether it's on my LinkedIn and even here in this training. And the reason I share that is because I do want y'all to respect my pronouns, one. But number two, I also want the people who know and who are invested in pronoun usage to be attracted to me. And anyone who doesn't think that that matters, or who doesn't care about that, or who doesn't feel comfortable with that conversation, maybe they're repelled from working with me. And I'm okay with that. Right. So there's certain things that you can put in a certain language you can put to attract and repel people. So that's step two. Right. Step three, you want to install the C's of success into your speaking business. And we're going to go through those C's of success. And then step four is celebrate your VIPs. And what we mean by celebrate your VIPs is I personally believe that if you have a speaking business, you're not just speaking for profit, like money, you are speaking for prophecy. You're speaking the dreams that you want for yourself. You're speaking the dreams that you want for your family. You're speaking the dreams that you want for your community. So therefore, when you're out speaking and consulting and going to different organizations, oftentimes you are going and your family is being left behind. Now there becomes these opportunities where you could take your friends and family with you. But a lot of times you got to leave your kids, you got to leave your partner, you got to leave your dogs, you got to leave your people behind. So in order to make sure that we're filling all those cups that are important, not just making it about profit, the end of the roadmap includes celebrating the people that you had to leave while you were out there on the grind. Right. So we want to make sure we celebrate our VIPs. So when y'all think about y'all very important people, who are those very important people in your life that you're building your wealthy speaker business for? Is it yourself? Is it your kids? Is it your family? Is it your friends? Who are we building this wealth for? Right. Because I put a post up a few months ago and a lot of people didn't know this. You can make the same amount of salary as a speaker, as a software engineer. There are speakers and consultants making $200,000, $300,000 a year. So this is a profitable business. And if you don't know what you're doing it for, you can get lost in it. And that's how you begin to burn out. So share it in the comments. Who are you doing this for? Who are you building out this business for? Right. And I see someone else is sharing what they do. I help organizations and agencies to become more intentionally inclusive and intentionally accessible and help LGBT and individuals with disabilities to identify and maximize their individual talents. This is a great statement. There's some ways we can make this a little bit better. And I would love to support you on that. Definitely, I support my private clients on that. But welcome to the space. I'm so happy that you're doing that really amazing work. All right, we got some folks sharing who their VIP is, hubby, daughter, mom. I love that. My son. Yes, your son. I love that. Thanks for sharing. Myself and my family. Thank you. Thank y'all for being, vulnerable enough to share. The reason that I speak, right, and the reason that I consult is definitely for my family. One of my goals is to be able to retire my dad. My dad's been working since he was 14 years old, and it's time for him to retire. The other reason that I do this is for the younger versions of me, right? So I hope that one day as I'm developing, I can build out and give more money to youth organizations that support inner city Black kids in Los Angeles, which is where I grew up, and also young LGBT folks. So that's why I'm doing this as well. So thanks y'all for sharing. Got some more stuff. Myself, my spouse, my stepdaughter. Thanks. We want to bring gratitude in the space. My VIP, my daughter, and my husband. Thank y'all so much for sharing. We got to know, why are we doing this work, right? So let's get to the bags, right? Let's get to, like, for folks who are just getting here, maybe you weren't here in the beginning. For today, we are only going to focus on step three. And what I told y'all is I'll probably do a training in a few weeks where we'll go through all of this. I'm actually planning out a free live training the first week of February. Y'all will get that information. If you want information and make sure that you're on the list to get it, just simply send me the word. Let me see if I can find it on here. I might have to like make it real quick. Oh yeah, here it goes. So you just want to text the word speak. Let me see if I can turn the ticker off. I don't really like that ticker. Hold up real quick. I'm using StreamYard too, if y'all wonder what platform I'm using. But yeah, text the word speak to 323-405-9492. And that's if you want more access to free trainings like this one. I'm going to be doing one where I'll go through the whole roadmap, and I'll also give you a messenger script. I'm going to do that in the next few weeks, probably the first week of February. So, all right, so let's get into the juiciness of this and talk about the 3 C's of success. So when we're thinking about our wealthy speaker ecosystem, right? The 3 C's of success, the top, right? I really want you to look at this like a funnel, right? Like what you need to give the most love to, but also what's going to really move your business forward, right? So the first thing is credibility. Credibility is all about, and I'm going to go into detail about all of these, but credibility is all about how you see yourself and how others see you, right? And we'll go into some details as well. Conversations, the amount of conversations that you're in with particular organizations, potential clients about business and moving business forward. And then contracts, securing contracts and submitting proposals that really support you and your growth. These are the 3 C's of success. If people see you as credible, reliable, and trustworthy, they're going to be willing to get in conversation with you. And ultimately, they're going to give you the contracts so that you can secure the bag. If you're doing these things, you're moving your business forward and your business should be successful. Oftentimes, I'll see gaps in that. I'll see a lot of speakers who are having a lot of conversations, but they're not moving those conversations into conversations about contracts. Or I see a lot of speakers who are doing a lot of credibility. They're marketing every day. They're putting out there, I'm booking, I'm open to speak, I'm booking, and they're not giving any value. Credibility is not just about marketing yourself, it's about giving value, right? So they're just putting in a lot of like, hey, see me, see me, see me, but they're not giving value to their audience so that they're credible. Right. So if there's a gap in this process, that's where you're going to find yourself doing a lot of legwork and reaching out to a lot of people, but not making a lot of money. Or you're going to find yourself not getting on conversations about contracts with actual decision makers and being on calls with people who really don't care about you or about your growth. Right. And we don't want that. We don't want to waste our time and our energy, because when we do that, then we feel like we're not growing, and then that makes us not want to do our business, right? So let's get into credibility. So what does credibility look like for a speaker? It's all about these 3 things. The first thing is your social proof. People want to know that other people enjoyed you, right? And think about it like this, y'all. I got the red carpet out here for y'all so y'all can understand this, because credibility is about being a celebrity almost, right? If people know that other people have valued you, looked at your testimonials, got referrals for you, recommendations, they're more likely going to want to have a conversation with you and work with you. Think about yourself when you are about to go out to a restaurant, or you're going to go stay at a hotel, or you're going to go on a retreat to an event, or you're going out of the country to some place that's a spa or anything, right? You're going to go look at those testimonials. You going on Yelp, or you going on TripAdvisory, or you going on booking.com, or wherever you can, Google, to see what are the testimonials, the referrals, and would anybody recommend that. I'm in a couple of travel groups, even on Facebook. And there's a few of y'all who will put in a hotel and be like, give me your feedback, right? So we want to make sure that we're gathering those as well when we're building our credibility. So when we go out and we speak and we consult, we want to put down an opportunity for them to give us, either in a survey or in follow-up, feedback about how we did. And what I want y'all to know about feedback, because I just got a message from a client who got feedback that their presentation could be a little bit better. Feedback, whether it's good or bad, is going to make you a better speaker and a consultant. So this feedback is not about praises for you. This is actual feedback that might help you grow your business, grow your talk, grow your expertise. So we want to get the social proof down, and that makes it easier for you to move your business forward. The next part is organic marketing. You got to have your organic marketing gathered and put together. And that could be email marketing or social media. And what I mean by that is, like, if someone comes to you, right? Someone said that they speak in the defense industry, right? Let's say you have a tip sheet that you put together, 10 steps on ways that women could defend themselves if they're ever assaulted, or if if they're in danger, whatever it may be. You might have a tip sheet that someone can download, right? If they're interested in learning more about your work. Making sure that you're capturing that person's email, phone number, and continuing to nurture that relationship is going to be important. Social media is the same thing. A lot of y'all want to have, you know, businesses where you post on social media maybe once or twice, but a lot of the posts aren't really using your superpower, which is your voice. So I would say posting, going live like I am today, utilizing your voice and practicing is going to be one of the best things that you can do as far as organic marketing and as far as building credibility, right? Because I remember 2 years ago, I think it was, I was posting a lot of short form poems on my page, and I got hit up by several organizations to come and do writing workshops. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's something else I might start doing. um so and it was because I was doing that social proof, right, and organic marketing on the internet. Y'all didn't know that probably about me. Your boy is a poet, been a poet for a while, right? So I can get down with that. I'm actually going to be working on my next book very soon. The next way that we can build credibility: free live trainings or events, workshops. Maybe you go out to a conference, an industry conference, you do a free workshop or plannery there, right? Free game is an opportunity for you to show your expertise. It's also an opportunity for you to build out your speaker's reel, right? Now, what I want to say is this: you ain't got to do a whole bunch of free events to get paid, but there is a freemium model that you can use, right? Like, let's say you don't have a speaker's reel and you want a space to speak to people, and you want the organization, the only thing you want them to do is to record it for you and bring in a videographer. That's an exchange. Let's say that you have an opportunity to sell from the stage, or maybe sell your book or sell your merchandise. That's a freemium model, right? You're going to still make something and make some impact. Or let's say you're speaking on a stage that's going to give you exposure to other decision makers. You might want to do that for free. There's only a few occasions I will do something for free, but if it is going to be that, it has to bring value into my life and into my business. So put that into the comments for me, because I really want to be clear with that. I hear a lot of speakers that come to me and they say, Evolve, I know I got to speak for free for a little while before I can charge. Put I will not speak for free without strategy in the comments. I will not speak for free without strategy. And that's what I want you to think about it. You are not speaking for free just to speak for free. You got to have a strategy behind it and something that you know is going to support your business. So put that in the comments. I will not speak for free without a strategy. So look, for credibility, we've got social proof, organic marketing, free live trainings. I'm giving you game. 3 ways that you can build out your credibility as a speaker and a consultant. And I see that these coming in. Yes, I will not speak for free without a strategy. Yes, I will not speak for free without a strategy. Yes, preach it, y'all. We've got to say it. We've got to say it in our bodies, and we've got to believe in that, because a lot of folks are taken advantage of, and you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that to build your business. You actually lower your credibility when you do that. You've got to have a price. You got to have structure. You got to have a business plan. So let's move into the second C, y'all. And thank y'all for participating in that mantra with me. Thank you so much. So let's talk about conversations, right? We talked about credibility. Now we're getting into conversations. And this is what I'm going to give you as a tip, because I know a lot of y'all are messaging people. This is just a strategy of a conversation that you can have in order to move things forward. It's just a strategy, right? So you don't have to do your conversations like this, but this is really what helps me, right? Okay, so we want to get into conversations with people. And when we're in these conversations, this could be virtual. I know we used to it because of COVID, but this could also be at an event, right? We go to events all the time. and we are meeting new people. So it does not have to be just virtual or just in Messenger. I actually prefer it to be a conversation where I could look you in your eyes and see you. So, one, you want to lead with a compliment and curiosity. And what I mean by that is you don't want to lead with, I can do this and I'm that. You talking about yourself too much. People are not going to want to hire you. I'm going to be honest with you. People don't want to hear about you. They want to hear about the problem that you can solve for them and how you can make their life or business more easeful. So you lead with a compliment for them and curiosity, right? So let's say an example, if I was doing maybe a pitch to someone to do some DEI work, I would say, hey, Jim, your organization looks like it's doing some amazing DEI initiatives. I'm curious, what events do you have planned for the first quarter of 2023? I'm leading with curiosity and a compliment. I'm giving them compliment about the work that they're already doing and seeing with curiosity if they are actually doing some initiatives that I can support. The next step is to find the gap and to qualify. And what I mean by that is if you see that there's a gap in the work that they're doing, like for instance, let's say Jim is my imaginary person, comes back to me and says, Evolve, thank you so much. Actually, we're planning out some events for Black History Month, and we don't want to do the same thing that we normally do. We normally do, a lecture about Martin Luther King, but we want to bring something in more exciting. I might say, oh, well, Jim, I have a documentary called The Boy Doc where we talk about the trans experience and Blackness. This can be an intersectional event that we can maybe promote together and collaborate on. Can we get on a call and talk a little bit more about that? Then you book the call, and on the call, you take the conversation deeper into a proposal and a contract, right? So this is a simple conversation flow that you can use for networking. And what I always say is if you can't find a gap and qualify that you can help that person, then you don't need to be moving them to a phone call. There's no more conversation we need to have. Now you can still be connected. You can still be in each other's network. You can see there might be another gap you could fill. There might be, hey, I want you to come on my podcast, or I just want to stay connected with you, or I want to learn more about the work that you're doing. There might be some more curiosity. We want to qualify and make sure we can help people before we start to try to angle them where we might be charging them or putting in proposals. So many of you waste time on people who are not interested in you, your business, or your service because you out there just trying to catch anybody. And what I want you to do is be in a place of confidence and know that you ain't got to work with anybody. You don't have to work with everybody. In fact, more no's will bring more aligned yeses into you, yourself, and your business. So let's agree to that. So that's the second C, right? Conversations. We went through credibility. Now that's how we get into conversations. And then let's move on to the next one, which is contracts, right? Once we've built the credibility on a consistent basis, we've gotten in conversation with people, then we got to deliver when it's time for the contract. We got them on the call. I don't talk money on the call, and I wouldn't suggest you do it either. So what I do, right, is I'll be like, this was a great conversation. I really appreciate your time. What I would like to do, if you're comfortable, because I think we could work together, is put together a proposal and get it over to you in the next 24 to 48 hours. You can share it with your team, and then we can see if we can move forward. How does that sound, Jim? Okay, Evolve, that sounds great. Cool. Also, Jim, let's go on and schedule our next call because I want to make sure that we have it on the calendar. We've got to be proactive. We've got to move things forward. They're not going to do that for us. And it's honestly not their job. We're the project manager and we're the lead when it comes to being a consultant and a speaker. So you want to turn in expert research proposals that can really support people, right? Do your due diligence, do your homework. If you got a presentation you're doing the last 5 years, look up those statistics to make sure they're still current. Then you want to also turn in a very effective EPK, right? Your electronic press kit that shows who you are, what you do, where you've been, some of those testimonials, some of that credibility we talked about, and you've got to follow up. This is where a lot of you lose the game. This is where I am the king and queen, which is follow up. I will follow up every day. I'm going to follow up. Some of y'all that are on here right now that are watching this training, we've known each other the last couple of years. I still follow up with you. Any way I can help you, any way I can support you. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Follow up is what moves your business forward. because when you're not following up, someone else is, and they're taking your client from you. So let's say Jim and I have a call scheduled and he has to reschedule it. Cool, I need to follow up. Let's say Jim says, yeah, my company wants to move forward with the proposal, Evolve. This sounds great. Let's get a contract done. He doesn't respond. It's my job to follow up. Yep, the royalty of follow up. Yep, that's me. Definitely. Somebody put that in there. That's funny. I'm going to have to take that name. So tell me, y'all, put into the comments, I will follow up and I will lead the conversation. I will follow up and I will lead the conversation. That is your job. If you don't do that, if there's people right now, there's somebody probably watching right now, and I could feel that spirit is telling me that they looking at this video right now and they saying, I need to go follow up with so-and-so. You was probably over here thinking before we even did this training, nobody likes me, nobody likes my business, and you realizing that you did not follow up with somebody you should have followed up with. Go follow up with them. Follow up is so critical. It's the critical part of this, right? In order for us to secure the contract, because often we get excited. We get really excited when someone says yes, and then we get easeful and we don't secure the bag. The bag is secured when the contract is signed. If that contract is not signed, the bag ain't secured, y'all. It's just kind of like, it's a dream bag. It's like right there. It's like, you about to grab it, but it's not yours until you sign that contract and that organization signs it. You don't have a legal binding document. Then they can come back and say, hey, you know what, actually we found somebody else, or hey, Evolve, we're not going to go with you, whatever it is. So make sure you follow up and get that signed. Right. So we went through the 3 C's of success. We went through it, right? Remember, what was it? Credibility, conversations, and contracts. So I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of a bonus, right? Because that was all I was gonna go through. But I want to give you some bonuses on how you can get in conversations with people. If this itself has been helpful for you, and you want me to go through the whole wealthy speaker ecosystem roadmap, just put the word wealth into the comments. I just want to know if this is helpful, because I'm trying to get better with these trainings and make sure that the game I'm giving y'all is actually going to help y'all move things forward and implement, because that's what I want. I want implementation. My goal is to help speakers and consultants secure the bag, and especially diverse speakers and consultants secure the bag and move it forward, and at least 5 to 10,000 people in the next 5 years. So that's not going to be all paid clients, and I realize that there's several of you that are here, a couple of y'all that are here, that have hit me up and said, Evolve, I made money just from one of your free trainings. Somebody hit me up like 2 days ago in my inbox. It was like, Evolve, you know what? I secured a 20K bag just from one of your trainings. And that's amazing for me. I want you to win no matter what. I want you to win no matter what. If you are deciding to be here today, you are deciding to spend time with me. And time often is more valuable than money. And I appreciate you. So whether you're a paid client or someone who has never paid me or just getting to know me, I appreciate you because you're trying to move your business forward and you're making the world a better place. So let's get into the next one, which is the pro tip, right? And this is the 4 ways to get those conversations started, right? Because I know there's a way you can go in the messenger, right? But sometimes you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, what are the ways that I can get some business, get some money? So I'm gonna give you these 4 ways to kind of get conversation started, right? The first one is the money-making activity that we use in S4P. And S4P stands for Speaking for Profit University. And that is make a list of people. Oh, snap. Look at my Canva. My Canva's doing Canva things. Hold on, y'all. Let me go back. It's telling me to restart. Let me see if I can do it this way. Hopefully it don't do that every time I get to that page. Okay, it is going to do that. So let me see. Okay, there we go. We good. We good. Technology, sometimes not my strong suit, but there we go. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make a list of 30 to 40 people and reach out to the people you know. Who are the people that you already know who work at the industries you want to speak at? You got a cousin, you got a near aunt, you got some friends, you got a bestie, you got a line sister, you got somebody who probably works in that industry. Hit them up. And even if they aren't the person who can help you secure the bag, they probably know the person or know a department that might need support. Right? So that's the first place that you can start when you're thinking about leads and getting conversations started. The second thing is to post a mission post on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is our powerhouse that we use at S4P, right? What I mean by a mission post is tell folks that you're on a mission to solve the problem that you're solving. So let's say I was talking about the work I do with the LGBT community, right? I could say I'm on a mission to help 10 organizations over the next 10 months become more LGBT inclusive and create a brave space for their LGBT community, right? Or staff or whoever it may be. From people who say, hey, I want to be a part of that mission with you, Evolve, and raise their hand, we can move them into conversation, right? Lead with compliment, curiosity. And if we find a gap, get on a call with them and secure a contract, right? So, two ways that we went through thus far: people you know, doing a mission post. The third way I talked about in the slide before is to follow up with past clients or people you work with. That's actually something that I'm doing right now. I'm following up with some people I had contracts with last year to see if there's opportunities for us to move things forward. If people have already worked with you, there's more of a relationship and it's warmer. We can get in a conversation about business a lot quicker, and it's more helpful and you're more confident because you know you already been in an active service. And then the last way is connect and start conversations with new people, right? Maybe you go to a conference or event, or maybe you take some time to connect with new people on LinkedIn or in your local community. These are 4 ways I'm giving you right now today. If you've already got the roadmap together, that you can go start conversations. 4 ways right now. There's no reason that you should not be able to secure an opportunity from this. But we want to make sure we got all the things together, right? So I'm going to go back to the beginning for folks who might have not been here. This is the complete roadmap. We just went through step 3. But you want to make sure you know what that impactful speaking offer is, right? What's your offer? You got to have your profile together. Make sure you install those 3 C's, and then celebrate with your VIPs when you get these contracts. This is the Wealthy Speaker ecosystem. It's not a lot, y'all. Now, when you start to scale, which is what I help most of my clients with, that's when you can have an administrative assistant and somebody who's supporting you in building this out. So it makes it a little bit easier. But I've been able to do this for myself as a solo entrepreneur, and I know that you can do it as well. Right? So what I want to say before I go, and then please put questions in the comments. This is Q&A time if you have any questions, because we're at the end of this presentation. But what I want to say is this: I'm here to serve y'all and help y'all. So if you're not on my email list or my text list yet, what I would suggest is you go on and text me the word speak to 323-405-9492. And I'm not going to spam you. I'm not that person, but I will send you messages when I go live and when I'm doing free trainings. I have a free training I'm going to be doing in a couple of weeks. I think we're going to call it the Speaker Attraction Mastery Live, where I'm going to go through this complete roadmap. I'm going to give you a money-making script, messenger script that I've used, some questions to ask on phone calls, and then this is all going to be free. And then also I'm going to show you how we've, automated the process of reaching out to people so that we can grow our audience a lot faster. So I'll be doing that in a couple of weeks, probably the first week of February. If you want to make sure that you get first access to that, just go on and text me. All right, y'all. So questions. What questions do y'all have about the roadmap? Maybe you got a particular speaking opportunity right now. You want to get a little bit of coaching. Just go on and put those questions in and I'll answer them. I'm stay on for a couple of more minutes just to see if some of those come through. And I see y'all putting wealth in here, telling me it was helpful. I appreciate that. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the good energy. Thank y'all for being here. All right, y'all. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time because I know sometimes the text is a little delayed, right? Where the questions might come in. And feel free, right? If you're watching this in replay and you've gotten to this point, you're like, I have a question. Um, just feel free to go on and put that in there too if you're watching in replay. I have social media. How I'm not privy to LinkedIn. Yeah, if you're not privy, I would suggest getting on LinkedIn. What I will do, you know what I'll probably do, would it be helpful for me y'all just tell me to do a LinkedIn profile setup training. I can do a mini training and show y'all how to set up y'all LinkedIn profile for success. Would that be something that would be helpful for y'all? If so, I can definitely do that. I have that, also in a course for some of my paid clients where we go into the details of that. But I could do like a mini training and put something together for y'all. Okay. Okay. I see it. Absolutely. Okay, great. Yeah. LinkedIn is a powerhouse, y'all. It's great because it's global. So it's not going to just be people in your local um local area. It's going to be, you know, people who are in other parts of the country, other parts of the world. So yeah, it would be really great. Demetrius saying yes, or a profile review. Yeah, you know what? I do profile reviews quite often for my clients. So I don't know if I have the bandwidth to do a review for everybody, but what I will say is this. When we do the live training in February, what I'll do is I'll put a call out. If you're not in the Facebook group, go and join the Wealthy Speaker and Consultant Society. And I'll do a call out to see if people want me to review their profiles at that training, and I could do it there because I do need some examples for the training I'm gonna do. The examples of really well profiles and profiles that might need some work. So Demetra and Adam, make sure that y'all look out for that post, and I'll do a review when we do that training. Okay, here goes a question. When dealing with nonprofits, there's a significant amount of them that expect one to do all the speaking for free. How do we confidently present our offer and at the amount we want to receive it for? Great question. Great question. So what I'm going to say is this, and I think I said this earlier, but I'm going to double down on it. We want more no's for more aligned yeses. So what I mean by that is you've got to say no more too. If you know that the nonprofit industry is the one who's telling you no and that they're not going to pay you, you got to pivot out of that industry. That's not the industry for you. We are not trying to present ourselves more confidently or convince people to pay us. If we've got an attractive profile, an offer, and a gap that we can fill, and they know that they need that fulfillment, they should be willing to pay it. If they're not willing to pay it, then that's not the ideal client for you. And it's okay to move forward to a client who is. We spend too much time on people who aren't going to pay us anyways. Let's just move out of that conversation and move on and find the people who are actually going to do that. Right. And we could talk a little bit more about, like, is it a pivot of industry? Because sometimes it's the industry. Sometimes it's the type of nonprofits that you're reaching out to, because not all nonprofits don't have a budget, and sometimes it's your actual profile. And I know some people are asking for a LinkedIn review. Sometimes it's the way that you're presenting yourself and your messaging. So depending on where the gaps are, we can kind of support that. But we don't want to just focus on like the people who aren't doing it. We want to move past those folks as quick as possible so that we can get into momentum of people who actually want to work with us. Billions of people and companies on the planet, y'all. Y'all can find someone to work with y'all. And just think about this. And this is true story. If you got 10, 15, right, organizations who want to work with you and they're willing to pay you 10 to 15K, you've got your speaking business. Even if they're willing to pay you 3 to 5K throughout the year, that's your business. So you only need a small percentage of yeses, aligned yeses, to have something that is phenomenal. All right, I see something coming in. You are a beast at what you do. My question is, providing virtual speaking or coaching, would you suggest a separate group to provide it, or if using social media and platform? Okay, I'm trying to figure out this question. So it says, my question, if you're providing virtual speaking and or coaching, would you suggest a separate group to provide it or using social media? Oh, okay, so if I'm doing a training with someone virtually or coaching them virtually, would I do it on social media? Is that what you're asking? So I usually do my virtual presentations as far as platform on Zoom or whatever that organization uses. But right now what I'm using is what we call StreamYard. I love StreamYard. I think that they're amazing because, right, like I can bring your questions up, I can bring this PowerPoint up. It's just a great space. So it really, for virtual presentations, it really depends on what platform is going to be the most easeful for the audience that I'm supporting. And that's what I go to. So I think that's the question you're asking. If not, go on and, put it in a different way. as I'm trying to understand it in just text, and I can follow up with that. Okay, got it. Okay, great. Cool. All right, y'all. Well, this has been amazing, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for the opportunity to train and develop with you. Training and develop with you is training and developing me. And I'm really enjoying being able to speak about something I care about. Do you have any recommendations on who you work with to get your speaker reel set up and your EPK? Yeah, I do have some recommendations. Actually, within Speaking for Profit University, we have some preferred partners that we utilize. So do me a favor. I think you said this was Jen. Just do me a favor. Go on and post this question in the Facebook group, and I can drop some links in there. I'm not able to drop links in the comments when I'm on StreamYard. One of the things I wish we could do. But um, let me see, actually, if that's not true. It might actually let me do it. I don't think it's going to let me do it. Not on YouTube. But post it in the Facebook group, post that same question, and I'll post a couple of links to some folks that I prefer to be able to do that type of work. Great question. Okay, cool, y'all. So I'm gonna go because dinner is being served. I really appreciate y'all for being here. Like I said, we're gonna do another training in a couple of weeks. It'll be probably more of a 90-minute, 2-hour training where I'll go through the whole wealthy speaker roadmap. But take this and implement. If you're gonna take this and implement, before you go, just put the word implement in the comments because I want to know that you're gonna move this forward and that you're gonna do something with it. Right? I want to know I didn't spend the last 45 minutes of my time wasting my time, that you're going to use this and move it forward. So just put the word implement in the comments. And I hope that you all have an amazing day. Thank you so much again for being here. I'm Evolve Benson, the Speaking for Profit coach at Speaking for Profit University. We help public speakers and consultants secure the bag and impact the world. And hopefully one day, if you have not decided to join us, you will join us on our mission to make that happen and keep it going. So have a good one. I appreciate y'all. Have a good one and peace.